Hi, podcast fans. Believe it or not, the riot had a second day today.
We did. 2 days this week.
Guess what we didn't do? A taste test.
Oh, yeah, we forgot about that. You know, it's hard on a Friday.
Here's what
We didn't really have anything else planned.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Why don't we just set what we said yesterday we were going to do a taste test with and do that
Next
on
week?
Monday?
Next week.
Or let's not even say Monday. You're right. Let's just say next week. That way we don't
5 chances.
disappoint ourselves if we miss it out.
In today's podcast, we talk about something. People keep talking about this Bird Box Challenge. Are you familiar with the Sandra Bullock Speed 2 Bird Box Challenge?
Woo, we got a new idea for you.
That's the one that you're going to want to get cranking on there.
That's when you listen to this podcast, you turn around and immediately invite your friends over for an event this weekend.
It's going to be huge. Other things that happened today, we talk about The Punisher, thanks to some text messages that come in. The second day, Korean zombie movies, Funko Pops, and we do 2 of Nikki's favorite things at the same time.
You'll know when we get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put Nolan in as well? Do you remember him? Our podcast listener who set an alarm just to send us a text during our show.
I believe that is in there, yeah.
If not, Nolan, thank you so much for texting us and doing that, your part, to be a part of our... We host the show each day, and then if you're listening to this, I mean, obviously this is our podcast, so it's the rest of the show. But thank you, Nolan, for doing that.
Yeah, I put it's in here because there's a bunch of text messages in one spot.
There
and
you
I'm
go.
pretty sure that his text is in there,
Well,
too.
you made it.
So you guys have a fantastic weekend. Nikki and I, so much recovering to do.
Woo!
I mean, we've worked so hard in the last
2 days.
14 hours, 26 hours, I don't know, something. So you guys have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to join us at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page. You can always message us or post something there, and RadioU Riot on our YouTube channel.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
What's worse than finding grounds in your coffee? Finding grounds in your coffee while listening to the riot. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Yesterday, we established an incontrovertible truth. 2019 is my year. So if you got up and you were like, it's my year, wrong.
I feel like
we can't share it.
We can't share it all.
We can't share it. This is Obadiah's year, so...
So sorry, guys.
I know, and a lot of you were waking up like, it's my year.
Like that's your mantra for today to get you through it, and you were wrong the whole time.
Just a heads up, it's not your year. Maybe next year, but probably not because I'm already eyeing next year.
He's got dibs.
Yeah.
So how's your year going?
It's going fine, but the thing is that even though it's my year, and I hesitate to take the spotlight off of me for just a second, I feel like we have to shine it over there for just a minute on Nikki, because yesterday I left the studio and I had a meeting in, the library.
The bathroom, all right.
And when I came back, Nikki had carried the Christmas tree out of the studio.
We have 2.
Put it away.
I carried the
herself.
little and the big tree all by
She
myself.
put all the trees away.
And I only dropped 3 bulbs along the way.
Hey, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, that's a victory.
Well, I felt bad because, Obi, when we came in, we're like, oh, the Christmas decorations are still up.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you felt bad that it would be on you to do the tree. So I felt bad. I was like, I can do this. I can totally do this.
I wasn't trying to lay a guilt trip on you. I just looked at it and I said to Nikki, wouldn't it have been nice if somebody else would have taken the tree down?
Carried the big tree away.
Wouldn't it have been that hard? And lo and behold, I walk in, the tree is gone. Nikki is... I did it.
It was a little worrisome because, like, mid-walk through, our tree separates into a couple of pieces. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we could probably just duct tape that. We should go ahead and tape that up because we don't ever take it down. Yeah, we just, move it from place to place. And it split apart, and I panicked. We also have the feet of the tree fold in. Uh-huh. So when you lift it up, it's also a problem because you want to set it down properly. So
well, I want you to know, Nikki, that it sounds like you had the full experience.
I did, which is why you probably hate doing it.
Moving the tree is all of that. No matter how hard you try, you will grab it right where it pulls apart.
Yes.
You'll be like, no, don't grab it there, grab it here. But when you say grab it here, what you're really doing is grabbing it in the wrong place.
Yeah, these are all, take this home if you're, put down your tree. These are all just notes that everyone can remember.
I have both of my trees are still up. I only did 2 trees this year.
Yeah.
And the the one that's in my basement that is a pre-lit tree, yeah, some of the lights went out.
Uh-oh.
Last night. I plugged it in, and it got, what I thought was interesting was like it got really bright, and then it was like, really bright.
That's all it could do.
And I was like, I got a bad feeling about.
Well, you gotta decide what to do. You gotta cut them out, or
I don't know.
Aren't you supposed to cut away that before it takes over the whole tree?
Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, I don't even know if the world will still be here next Christmas. I don't know if I'll still be here next Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and not take care of it now, because why invest time now in something I may not even need?
Yeah, but then you're going to hate it when next Christmas you want to take that tree out and you're like, why are these lights not working?
Well, that's his problem. I don't even know that guy.
But that's home Obi. That's still your tree.
I guess. We'll see how he feels about it later.
The Riot. Turn it down.
And rip the knob off.
RadioU.
Nikki, do you have $5?
$5.
Will you give me $5 right now?
What would you like $5 for?
How would you like to have an HD copy of the 1994 hit Speed?
Speed?
$5 only.
Well, maybe they're getting that because of Bird Box or something with Sandra Bullock.
Maybe, sure.
Because she's in that, isn't she?
Yeah, she's in Speed. $5 you could find out for yourself.
I will let that stay open as a option for someone who's newly discovering Sandra Bullock.
Okay. You're just discovering her?
No, meaning like if someone's like, oh, who's this lady? And then they go look around and they find the older works.
Well, I'll tell you this. Looking at 1995 Sandra Bullock and 2018 Sandra Bullock, what is she doing?
It's different.
No, that's what's weird. It's like they look a lot alike. Like, what?
Yes, I know.
I mean, is she drinking green tea or like
something, right?
I mean, what is her regimen? That's what I would like to know.
Well, that's an earlier movie that is maybe still priced too high.
You think $5 is too
I think $5 for any movie of that era is, way too high.
Have you ever seen
Speed? I think I have. Wasn't there also a second one?
Oh, yeah.
With a boat? Yes. So I also think I vaguely remember that one.
You know what? I just want you to know that you just got a window into some of the life I have with my friends, because what you just said is how I end up seeing movies like Speed 2, because that's how I saw it. I was hanging out with some friends and somebody was like, wait, wasn't there a Speed 2? And I was like, yes. I heard it was really bad.
And then before you know it, you're buying $5 movies.
We should watch Speed 2.
In an ironic way.
And we totally watched it. And it is a great ironic watch because it is terrible.
So I think that's what they're, again, hitting at by having some of her movies on sale.
Okay. All right. Though, I mean, the smart move, and I could be wrong about this, but we could pay $5 for Speed or maybe Speed 2.
Yeah.
Spend this money to probably end up not watching it. Or, we pay $15 a month for Netflix.
Yeah.
We could watch Bird Box, which everyone is raving about.
No, I have it. You then go ahead and get Speed and Speed 2, but you watch it blindfolded. And then you have a Sandra Bullock.
The Speed 2 Bird Box Challenge.
There you go.
We're all going to watch Speed 2, but blindfolded.
Yes, I think that could be perfect. There's something there. There's a party there, isn't there?
I am
That's totally
speechless.
What you could do this weekend.
My whole mind is blown.
You could watch your whole catalog.
We're going to watch, everybody, we're going to get together and watch Sandra Bullock movies
now, no one
blindfolded.
Cheat. Stay blindfolded.
Don't you look.
You have to get your snacks and everything, all still blindfolded.
I love it. It's perfect. I love it. So let's do it. Let's watch Speed 2 blindfolded.
Yes, it's just wonderful.
Who's in?
You're like, what is this movie? How does it actually sound? That's what we want to find out.
Nikki, I've got a great snack to go with our Speed 2 Bird Box Challenge.
There's a new snack option?
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll have to start early in the day.
Well,
if we want to get through all the movies.
My concern is that if everybody's blindfolded watching Speed 2, how many of us are going to make it through Speed 2?
We're going to just fall asleep.
How many people are going to end up just...
I'd probably fall asleep through it anyways.
I don't know. When you saw... Who's the guy? Jason Patrick. Is that the guy? There's a guy in it. Because you have to have a guy and a girl.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jason, what'd you say? Oh, thank you for remembering him and highlighting his movie role.
Dear RadioU, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the riot. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Here is some amazing news that's not news. It's a rumor. According to Business Insider, their website, they say that there have been leaked internal documents from McDonald's.
At first, when you say that, you're like, oh, government documents? You're like, no, McDonald's.
No, McDonald's, something that actually matters in
to
your life.
To your life, yes. You'll pay attention to this one.
Government shuts down, you don't even note it. Like, you had no idea. Like, there's been a government shutdown, you're like, I don't know.
But McDonald's rumors, they're saying for a limited time, sometime around February, they're going to be, rumor again, potentially offering something called the donut stick.
Yeah.
Buy a half dozen, or you can have it bundled with a small coffee.
Bundled with local telephone service.
You could get a full dozen of the donut sticks from McDonald's. Now, supposedly Dunkin' Donuts has like their version of a donut stick.
They call them donut fries, I think.
So pretty much about the same thing, a donut fry.
Mm-hmm. Think about it, Nikki. I could be driving, because right now everything's closed, but now I could be driving into the radio station and stop at McDonald's for some donut fries.
So is it basically like a
it's
donut?
Fried bread.
So, okay, but have you ever had funnel fries?
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
That's something.
What if you could? I mean,
Just
outside
stop.
of you shouldn't have powdered sugar in your car, like that'll never clean up. But if you put that aside and you had some sort of dipping sauce, like an icing dipping sauce or something.
I'll just tell you this right now. What did you tell me yesterday was your New Year's resolution?
Oh, to have more cauliflower things.
And less bread.
Less bread.
This is fried bread.
Yes, it is.
That's all it is.
And it's a half dozen, too. It's not like you can just get one.
Well, certainly not.
You can only order by the half dozen.
You know, we can be friends and just split it.
There must be smaller because a half dozen and coffee will be $1.99, they're saying.
If these leaked internal documents, as reported by Business Insider, can be trusted.
So that's supposedly, allegedly coming out in February.
Okay.
For donut fries from McDonald's.
What do you think?
We should try that for a food fight. And we can because it'll be a breakfast item.
You know what? You're right. We should. We should. And it's for the show, which means it's okay.
And you know what will be nice?
What?
Normally for a lot of the food fight items, we have to go out to many grocery stores and like drive around and find these things. These, you know where they'll be.
It'll be right there at McDonald's.
Right in the drive. In fact, we can have it delivered.
I can go to 14 McDonald's on my way to work. That's where McDonald's is in my life. Like they're everywhere.
So if you like donut fries or like the sticks from Dunkin' Donuts, now McDonald's is supposedly doing their version next month.
All right, dude, let me tell you what. I'm in. I'm going to go get some coffee right now just to get ready for it.
Just to practice? Mm-hmm. Just, take your hand and
dip my finger in.
Yeah, and imagine it was a donut stick, a donut fry.
If you were offended or disgusted by anything Obadiah said this morning...
If you weren't so dumb, I might be offended.
You must be new. You'll get used to it. The Riot on Radio U.
So Nikki and I yesterday found another Korean drama with zombies.
Yeah, that's a movie, though.
So
that one's different.
Okay, so here's where we're at. We have found two things. There's Kingdom. Kingdom is a Korean drama, which normally I wouldn't be interested in, but it's a period drama. Still not interested.
Wait for it.
With zombies.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere.
That is coming out in, I think, 2 weeks from Netflix.
I've got January 25th.
And it looks really good.
January 25th. Yeah, I mean, it looks disgusting.
Which is a sign of a really good zombie show.
Nikki, it needs to be tasteful.
Tasteful, disgusting. Well, yeah, I mean, this isn't a modern telling.
I didn't say tasty. I said tasteful.
You're true.
But what was the other one that we found yesterday? Because now
That's
I've got
Rampant.
Okay.
That's a movie. That's also a zombie one.
It looks like they were like, hey, we got all this zombie makeup and we got all these sets. What do you guys think about doing a movie?
I actually had to play them side by side because I wasn't sure.
The trailers look identical.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was the same movie, and I know sometimes what happens is in different countries the movie will have a different title.
Oh, sure.
And then it comes to the United States, and Netflix is even known to split a movie and make a show out of it.
Right.
Like they can do certain things with it, and so we just couldn't tell. But they are two different things.
All right. So then when's that movie come out?
That one already came out. It was in last November. It's coming out like digitally in February.
Okay.
That's what made me notice it. I was like, oh, what's this? And I thought maybe the Netflix one was coming out. I thought, why is that? Is it a movie? And that led us down this journey.
Like a zombie that's just chowed down, I'm not sure that I'm up for 2 more meals.
No, I'm going to watch the Netflix zombie show.
Well, it's coming first.
Yes, that one is.
Yeah, I figure I'll give that a shot. They just released another trailer for Kingdom yesterday, and I'll tell you, the little screen grab of this person being eaten, it's kind of early.
A little early in the day for that.
Like just looking at it, it's like,
You know, we were talking earlier about the McDonald's donut fries.
It just
looks like an arm.
It just feels like
it's a bit much. That's fine.
I'm sure when the sun comes up, I'll be like, oh, yeah.
Zombies are great. This is a great show.
Right now, it's just like, oh, gosh. Okay. All right. I'm sure it'll be very good. Sure it will. Somebody pass the salt.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Dude, I am getting the best series of text messages from one of my roommates ever right now. So here's
Are you
what
going to
happened.
tell the story?
Kind of. Like, down in our basement is a workout area. Now, in your mind, you immediately pictured me living on top of like a Lifetime Fitness or something. It has like one light that kind of works.
A treadmill, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot there, okay? Like, the money has been spent on other things in that domicile, but there is a space for that. So they're downstairs using this. We have an elliptical. My dad gave me a treadmill. I haven't installed it yet. It's doing what it did at his house, gathering dust in the corner. So that's fantastic. It's what you want.
These things continue.
Yeah.
From father to son.
Father to son, father to son, father to son. So I haven't done that, but we're on the elliptical, and he just texted me, okay, the elliptical sits right next to the water heater, which...
That's a grown-up thing.
That should give you an idea of just how spacious and attractive this workout space is.
That's not a piece of exercise equipment. You know, that is what runs the water stuff in your house.
That's right. That's right. So there is like a little spout on the water heater that I guess like if there's too much pressure, like it'll let off a little, not really steam, but like water will come out of that. And so there's a little bucket at the bottom of it. No big deal. I hope that's normal because that's what they told me to do when I installed it.
And that's what's happening. So.
Yeah. And so then the other day I noticed that water was getting full. And so I used a cup, and you can see where this is going, to like grab some water out of the bucket, pour it out. Fine, no big deal. And I just got hey, bro, what was in that cup?
So you didn't empty the cup.
I did empty the cup.
You did empty the cup.
I did. So that's something. But I left the cup down there because I was like, well, what the heck? Like, it's a plastic cup. They make more than one of those. I'll just leave it here and I can use it.
Does that mean it's like porous and it accepted the water heater water?
Right? Yeah. So I left it there, and they were like, what did you use this cup for? Like, I emptied this bucket with it. I just drank out of that. They thought
nice.
I actually was like, look, the good news is, like, you're gonna get really sick right now. But that cup has probably come in contact with every disease on Earth.
So
like, you're gonna be fine.
I think it'll cancel it out
for now on. Like, you're gonna be totally fine. For this is like the biggest vaccination you could ever get.
That's gross.
Straight from the water heater.
And they just drank out of the cup?
They drank out of it and said halfway through the cup, they were like, what is this terrible smell? The cup.
That's gross. That took it too far. It's that smell. You know, we know what that smell is.
The cup smelled really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
yeah. The stagnant water smell.
I know.
Oh, Oh, boy.
It's fine, though.
Well, that'll wake you up, you know.
It's fine. No
it's
big
a new
deal.
year, and I bet you got some, like, vitamins from the hard water thing or from the water heater.
Something.
That you would never get on your own.
Something, yeah. I mean, it's great.
You
Don't
go
worry
to the
about
doctor and be like, I don't know if this works, but should I get a tetanus shot?
The
You
doctor's
guys
just
don't know what I need.
They just send you home. They're like, you know what?
We're going to give you everything.
There's nothing we can do for you.
Oh, no, you're getting a shot.
Here, just take these pills. And what is that? Like, well, it's an antibiotic. It's the strongest we have.
No, it's the hard water pills. They give you one of those.
I think the answer to this thing is like, you should question a cup before you just grab it. Now, if you're grabbing a cup out of like the kitchen cabinet, yeah. But if there's just a cup that's
near
out.
the elliptical. It looks like it was a workout cup.
So for all he knows, I was spitting in it. Like, man, when I work out, I get really worked up. I had to spit in it.
That's next. I don't know anybody that's doing that. And if you are, then
I don't know it either. But that's the thing. Is like, who
could
knows?
be.
Down there next to the water heater, singing "Eye of the Tiger." You don't know what's happening.
I hope we again are here as a service to you guys to just let you know that you need to question almost everything.
Question everything.
And then that way you're not drinking water from the cup that was used to, with the water heater, get the old water, the overflow water out of the bucket.
I just imagine this happening to Nikki, and as we've discussed before, she becomes very calm.
Well,
very
yeah,
calm.
that's how my body copes. I'm not splitting into different personalities or like, I'm just not. I'm going to accept it, internalize it, hide it away, and it'll never
speak of it
it'll
again.
never come back up again.
You've got to hand it to Obadiah and Nikki. Anyone can eat junk food all day,
Where's my food?
but they've figured out a way to get paid for it. The Riot on Radio U.
Man, that Chinese shipping stuff is real. I ordered a friend of mine a shirt in late November for Christmas.
Yeah.
Came yesterday.
Oh, finally?
It definitely came from China, though. Right there on the bag.
It usually takes a while. And I find, like you'd think, UPS or FedEx, but it's usually through the Postal Service. So it takes a lot longer because it goes to them and then they want to take their sweet time too.
And I don't want to get into a whole thing here, but it absolutely said on it Prime shipping.
It did? Well, they didn't say Amazon Prime shipping. So I think that's your bad.
You know what? You're right.
They weren't lying. They did some Prime shipping with it.
I mean, real nice.
Maybe in China there legitimately is a category of shipping called Prime shipping, and it just means something different.
You know what? Yeah.
So can you change your attitude with that? Because I don't think they're in the wrong.
I should change my attitude. You're right. You know what I think it is? Today is, and go ahead and get ready to feel very, very sorry for us, but today is the second day of the year.
Yeah, for us, because we just
Nikki
came back
and I
yesterday.
have had to be here.
It's been a long week.
I'll tell you what, guys. It is just...
It's tough, isn't it?
I always say that you can do anything for one day, but the second day is just...
Today's truly our test.
Today's the real one. And, it's Friday. You would think that Nikki and I had worked a 10-day week.
You know what I was worried about when I got up this morning? And I was like, oh, man, 2 days. And I thought, what about next week?
Okay.
All 5 days.
You know what? You can't think about that.
No, you're right. I just have to one day at a time.
That's right. You got to one day at a time. And if you start thinking about next week, you're done.
I'm going to be miserable.
You're done. So
It's been good to come back. I mean, obviously, we missed you guys a lot.
Has it been?
Over Christmas. Yes, it has been.
Did you miss everybody?
We missed everybody. But you're right. 2 days in, you're like, oh, that's it. Christmas is really, truly over.
Hey, man, it's hitting me hard. It's hitting me hard. Like, I got up this morning because what I love is I'm driving. I went to the gym this morning. And I'm driving to the gym, and all I can think about is, and I keep trying, it's like my mind is going one direction, I keep pulling it back. So I'm like, I'm listening to this podcast, I'm staying focused about how comfortable I would be in bed right now.
It just always goes back to that.
It just kept going back to, it was just like over and over and over again. No matter how hard I tried, my mind continued to return to, when do we get to go back to bed?
Well, you have to finish today, and then you're good.
When do we get to sleep?
Well,
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the Riot on on Radio U.
I heard Nick mention it, and I think he's right. I think everybody's still on vacation. Not everybody, obviously.
I think Monday will be the real,
That's when the world gets back.
That's the real day for everybody.
Because, dude, I was in the gym again this morning. I think there was 5 people in there. I mean, I couldn't believe just how few people there were in there.
I'm also expecting for resolutions, that's normal.
Monday?
Yeah, normally people hit the gym really hard in January. But yes, you're right. I don't think people are counting that start date until Monday.
I'll be curious to see because I've never been part of the 5 a.m. gym crowd. That seems like a pretty steady group of people. I see the exact same people every time that I'm in there. Some of them are missing right now.
Will there be anyone new?
But I'm just wondering, if you're starting a resolution, do you start it that early, or is that more of an afternoon thing?
No, I think if you're going to go at it, and that's the only time for you, then that would be the couple of weeks you're like, yeah, I'm totally going to go work out at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I got to find I don't feel like a daily 5 a.m. is sustainable for me. I've got to find a balance.
Well, we talked yesterday. There was actually a really good article, and sometimes we get these and they're pretty lame.
Yeah.
But it was talking about resolutions and, how long can you sustain it, and what you should actually be doing then instead of the 7 days a week. You should shoot for a couple of days and just focus on one smaller goal so you don't give up.
My thought is you got to I think sustainability when it comes to healthy eating, working out, almost any kind of a good habit is a great discussion to have. It's not what I was going to talk about, but let's have it. Well, because here's the thing is that a lot of the times the reason we fail is that, as Nikki was kind of just saying, we ask too much of ourselves. A lot of times we ask too little, but then our answer is to shove completely in the other direction and ask too much. And in my opinion, asking too much of yourself is a lot of times you're afraid. You're afraid you can't do it. You're afraid you'll quit. You're afraid whatever. And so you push too hard the other way. And what you need to do is take a step back and just go, you know what? It's fine. I'll work out 4 days. I don't have to be there 7 days.
Think of it this way, though. If you say, okay, I'm going to start working out and I'm going to get to the gym at 5 a.m., that's 2 parts when it comes to a resolution.
You're right.
Because not only are you demanding of yourself to work out, now you're also demanding of yourself to do it at 5 a.m.
Right.
And so you might not have noticed that's a 2-parter, and they're suggesting maybe you just take one away and then work out whenever you can.
And it's technically a 3-parter because after a day or two, you're going to have to start going to bed earlier.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, you're right. That's too much of yourself. You're asking too much of yourself.
So I'm just saying, we're saying kind of break it down. And the thing we saw yesterday, they were like, hey, one thing, which is good. And then also, remember, you don't have to go from 0 to 75. How about we 0 to 25, and then 5 miles an hour, we'll just ease it on up there.
Ease your way on in.
But then again, we're talking to nobody because everybody's still on vacation anyway.
Because no one is going to start easing their way into it until Monday. Because you can't possibly start something now.
But see, Nikki, look at how great we are. We came in on a Thursday.
We came yesterday.
We have eased our way in.
Mm-hmm.
We've eased our way in. In fact, I told Michael when I left yesterday, I do a lot better at work after having between 10 and 14 days off. And so we're going to work today and tomorrow, and then we'll be back on the 15th.
We'll see you then.
Yeah.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Remember, you can text and say, hey, anytime you want. 8772 Radio U. Aaron says, Happy New Year, Riot. Glad to have you all back. Favorite part of the worst of the Riot 2018 is Eric screaming in part 7, I feel nothing.
Our day 7 of our worst of Riot. Yes. It's very specific.
He says, I just about died there. Can we please get that on a preset so it can be used all the time?
We got to work on a Riot soundboard app, maybe through our Radio U app, which you can download for free anytime you'd like to.
That would be pretty fun,
We can put a soundboard page on there.
Also want to say hey to Nolan. Says, Obie and Nikki, I don't get to listen to the show live because of my time zone, so I set my alarm just to send you a text.
That is dedication right there.
The Riot is a complete part of my balanced diet.
Thank you, Nolan. You'll hear this. We'll put this in the podcast.
That is hilarious.
That's really cute.
And here is Joel texting us at 8772 Radio U. He says, good morning. I'm excited for Punisher Season 2. but it feels like we're holding our breath expecting the final announcement of Jessica Jones and The Punisher to be canceled.
Oh, yeah.
How long will they wait to cancel them? Maybe the week after it's released?
When is season 2? Is it this month, right?
Yes, they announced it. It is January 18th, which is not 2 weeks from today.
Gotcha.
So 2 weeks from today, you get the second season of The Punisher, and yes, everyone does expect it to be canceled.
Of course. And then when's the Jessica Jones stuff?
Are they making a third season of Jessica Jones? Jessica Jones is just the one that, I don't know that they've announced a third season. They just haven't announced its cancellation.
Well, no, they just haven't announced another season to then have something to cancel.
Yeah, but with Daredevil and the others, they just, even though they didn't announce another season, they also announced we're not picking them up for another season. So, yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens with The Punisher. We'll all make sure for the 18th to put it down to not watch it.
Well, I'll say this. Netflix, as much as I love the Marvel stuff, they may not have made the worst choice because this second round of Marvel shows, I haven't watched basically any of them. I didn't watch Iron Fist. I watched an episode. I didn't watch Luke Cage. I still haven't watched Daredevil, which is like my favorite thing ever. And, well, I mean,
that's a bit of a statement, isn't it? Are you willing to take that statement?
Someone may have just oversold it just a little bit.
And did you feel it in the room?
As soon as I said it, it was like, oh, hang on.
The atmosphere changed like it was a warning of this man is lying.
Hold on. Okay, just hang on there, buddy. Hang on there.
Okay, well, we're taking that statement back.
Yeah, I'm taking that back, but I just haven't watched any of it. And I watched the first 2 episodes of Daredevil.
You are exactly why they've canceled all that stuff.
And you know what? I just suck.
People assume everyone was watching all the seasons of it, and people stopped.
I just keep playing games instead. I'm a bad person.
Video games, not like games with...
No, I'm playing games with Netflix.
Emotional games.
I'm playing games with Netflix. Like, I'll cancel my subscription and then restart it.
It's like he's not doing that.
I start an episode and then stop and then start it again.
You're like, will he please finish it?
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Nikki, what are your cruise plans for 2019?
Never been on a cruise. I mean, I've been on like a party boat and a catamaran and a sunset cruise, but not like a cruise.
Multi-day cruise?
Yeah, never that. I always thought an Alaskan cruise would be awesome.
No, you got to go Caribbean. So it's so hot you hate your life.
The Caribbean, I think, because it's hot is why that disease, norovirus stuff, like thrives. We never hear about disease boats from like Alaska.
That's actually true. So,
and I always thought it would be nice to do that.
But like with Alaskan cruises, do they have those big boats and those commercials that show people running on the treadmill while they're on their cruise? Because nothing says I'm on vacation like getting up early to get on the treadmill on the cruise.
No, I think for Alaskan cruises, it's always like, here, you can get on this helicopter or walk on this block of ice and do all that stuff and see salmon and bears. Any
salmon, bears eating salmon.
Bears eating salmon. Both.
Perfect.
Both of them.
That's 3 things you can do.
Like when I was like, what do I want to do for spring break? Check, and check.
The only reason I want to get on a cruise at all, because I'm terrified of being out in the middle of the ocean. That sounds horrifying.
Yes, it does.
I mean,
let's do a river cruise.
You're not supposed to think about it, but how can you not think about it? But I just want to be out there eating. And that's what.
But that's where the sickness lingers.
I mean, it might be, but like the thing is, like you just go out there and you just go out and eat, and you just eat for days and eat when you want to.
You don't have to pay. Like it's in your price, so like it's
all part of it.
There's no checking out. There's no nothing.
Yeah. So I remember our friend Dirk. He used to go on cruises, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I gained 10 pounds on a cruise." He said that he would go. You could eat anytime, day or night. And he's like, "Yeah, you just." 2:00 in the morning, get up, go get a cheeseburger at the short order cook.
That. I don't want to know what life is with that.
I don't know. When I go to buffets, I never feel like I get my money's worth anyway. So a cruise would just be like, all right, look, we are going. The whole thing we're doing here is eating.
You'd have to go on this huge diet before you go on a cruise, and then when you get back.
Yeah. Well,
unless you get sick, and then the back parts, it'll take care of itself.
Something that Carnival Cruise Line just announced that a lot of people are kind of whining about is they have dropped free room service. They've been doing.
You could have had the food delivered to you? That's even worse.
Free
That's worse.
room service.
And now you get a charge?
Now you have to pay for it. Not just the delivery, but the food as well. So and you can take a look online as if you care what the menu is, but they have a room service menu, but it's no longer free.
How much are they going to charge you?
Between $2 and $6 per item, depending.
Per item? Oh, that's a expensive surcharge there.
Yeah. So some things you can still get on the house, like a grilled cheese or some tuna salad. So something like that. But
weird stuff. All right.
If you want like chicken tenders, that's going to cost you.
That'll cost you big.
Can you imagine?
They want you out of your room because they want you doing stuff on the boat.
Gambling in the casino
Pretty
on the
much.
boat.
They want you probably spending money drinking.
Man, like the idea that I could pick up a phone at any moment, and again, this is back in the day because they don't do it anymore, but could have had them deliver wings, chicken tenders, and fries. I probably wouldn't leave my room.
That's why they're having problems with it.
Just like,
people are running around trying to get their food.
To it? No.
You can go to the buffet, and they're like, nope, don't want to.
Listen here, cabin boy, bring more chicken tenders and fries.
We can't go on a cruise. We just can't.
We can't. You're right, especially now that you have to pay for room service. The dream is dead.
We're just not able to. We got to plan another type of vacation. That's not going to be it.
I want to go. Well, see, you don't want to do that either. I was going to say one of those all-inclusive resorts where it's all eating all the time, but you're on the land.
That's the same thing.
I don't care. Let's eat. I'm hungry.
Think Obadiah owns too many video games?
Get us out of here! Roger that!
Well, maybe you'll think differently when... Okay, you're right. There's no conceivable scenario where anyone needs that many. The Riot on RadioU.
You know, Nikki, it's happening pretty soon.
What is it?
I think it's January 15th. I'd have to double check, but the Grand Tour.
Yes. Okay. Now we're excited again about it.
Okay. All
and
right.
This is because before Christmas, the Grand Tour, which used to be Top Gear, which was a British show that we like to watch, the guys left and started the Grand Tour with Amazon. Spent a lot of money and had 2 seasons that were just okay to even below just okay. And so the show was supposed to be canceled with the final season coming sometime. But then they talked about how, no, they've agreed on a 4th season, and it'll be changed in a way that we want it to be. They're just going to be traveling. It won't have like any tent thing. So if you watch the show, you'll know what that means. But they were like, what about the 3rd season, though? It's like, when is that coming out? And that should be soon.
It is. And on top of which, they have finally posted some details on the Grand Tour video game. So the idea is that every week you'll watch the Grand Tour on Netflix or whatever, and then afterwards there will be updated levels in this video game that will enable you to play what you've seen them doing on the show. My big question for the entire thing has been, that's a great idea. Now, how much does it cost?
Is it free?
No, it's $15.
For like a pass, so you get the
you'll
entire
get everything.
thing?
Yeah, that would be the entire thing.
It could be worse. I kind of would think it'd be free to kind of like accompany the show and to get you excited to watch it.
I had similar thoughts. Now, you can't buy like a physical copy. Amazon is selling digital codes for the Xbox One. Oh, that's interesting. It's $15 on the Xbox. It's $30 on the PlayStation.
Oh, now that's a bit of an increase. What's the increase for? Do they have a special deal with Xbox?
I don't know. Like, why they're doing that? But apparently, if you want it, to buy it on the Xbox, I guess. You know what? I do like driving games.
At that price point, the difference is where you could actually say to yourself, well, maybe I should just go ahead and buy an Xbox if you're a PlayStation user.
Yeah, I don't think the game's going to be good enough to be worth it.
It's supposed to be something like, I wish, kind of like The Walking Dead, they had, with their stuff. It'd be nice if it was just a free game that went with it, that got you, again, excited about watching the show.
Well, Nikki, they think it would be a lot of fun if it was a paid game that went along with it that got you excited about the show.
And, we're almost meeting in the middle.
Right. I mean, there's like just a couple words there.
I see that we're waffling on the payment part of it.
Waffle.
Doesn't that sound good? But for the Grand Tour, it's been a rocky first 2 seasons. I would think they would push the profit aside. Just realize they want to get some fans.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? You could be right. You could be wrong.
But they're not changing it. You do have to pay for it.
I'm still so happy with Forza Horizon 4. Forza Horizon 4 to me feels like the Grand Tour as a video game.
The Grand Tour should have done a partnership with an existing game and highlighted cars and tracks that way each week.
Completely agree with you.
That would have been smarter.
Completely agree with you.
But again, no one's coming to ask us for our opinions.
No, that's why we just give them away. Just here, take them. People are like, don't even want them.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Sometimes I like to crowdsource my problems, you know? So I need everybody to get in real close.
Get real close to the radio.
But I'll tell you right now, it's going to get nerdy, so I don't want to get any...
No attitude?
I'm looking for a Funko Pop.
You are? I thought you weren't letting yourself do that.
Well, here's the deal. You may or may not be aware, I'm a huge fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I think I am growing to enjoy it more and more because I keep going back and watching. I love the new ones, but I've been watching the old ones. And the old ones are full of a lot of humor that I don't get because their episodes are like anywhere from 10 to 20 years old. So they're making cultural references that I understand the structure of the joke, but I don't understand the context. It's very idiomatic. It's like, well, I don't know what that is. So while I understand each individual word you have uttered, I fail to grasp the meaning.
Together, but then the new Netflix ones.
The new Netflix ones I get.
Sure.
And that's part of what's so fun about them is they roll so deep on some things. You're like, man, you would have to be so like me to get this. And I don't know very many people like me, so it's fine. That's not a compliment or an insult for anybody.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That being said, I got a Crow, which is one of the robots. I got a Funko Pop of Crow for Christmas. And so I want a Tom Servo Funko Pop because they're the two robots on the show. Because on the left speaker by my TV, I now have Crow, and I feel like the perfect thing
companion piece
would be to put Tom Servo on the right speaker.
Okay.
But what I need to know is I could probably order it online. I think I found a couple places online, but is there a place in the world where you can just go in and buy them? I went to GameStop and they didn't have it.
I saw the one time I bought one as a gift for someone. It was at Hallmark, believe it or not. But it was not a Mystery Science Theater one.
See, that's the hard part.
I think they just show up in random stores.
I think I'm probably just going to have to order it online. Or else, what do you think this ends with me like doing a serial search where I'm at 10 Targets and 14 different Walmarts.
You don't find it and you're mad.
You're like, oh, yeah, we don't have that.
Well, I don't want you to transfer your anger of not being able to find it easily in a store to... Because which store is carrying the Mystery Science Theater Funko Pops?
Don't say it like that.
That's
hurtful.
just saying it. I'm
that's
just saying, is it true?
Yes, but it's still hurtful.
You'll never find it anywhere.
Oh, now listen to that. We've gone from like a little hurtful.
Ever.
You'll die before you find it.
We'll all die before you find it.
1,000 years of searching. Never will it be yours.
Like that quest you do not want to go on. So just order it online.
All right, fine, whatever.
So it'll be easier.
Okay, here's the thing is I found one for $9, $2 shipping, or if I spend $25, I can get free shipping. So do we...
Why don't you just buy a couple more Funko Pops?
No. No.
Can't you just, have it sent today? Isn't it just on Amazon now?
No. It's not, actually. All the Amazon things are sold out, but I found a place.
Reputable dealer?
Well, I mean, I don't know how reputable they are, but everybody's telling me to go to Hot Topic.
Now, wait. Everybody's saying Hot Topic has a ton, but you're not listening. Does Hot Topic have a ton of the Mystery Science Theater Funko Pops, or do they just have a ton of Funko Pops?
Well, we don't know, but thank you, Beth, Chuck, and Lori, who all felt like,
If you guys wouldn't mind, the next step. Okay, texting is the first step when you're listening, but if you want to truly be a right listener, if you wouldn't mind the next step, if you go to Hot Topic today, just text and let them know if they have it.
You know what? Truth be told, like looking at this isn't so bad. It's $8.64, $2 shipping. Like it ends up being about $11, which in a store, it's probably going to be $10
It'd be way
plus
more than
tax.
that. And gas to get there and emotions and... Which robot is it you want?
Tom Servo. Let's just do it, Nikki. I'm just getting it.
You're going to go buy it?
I'm going.
Look at that.
So, you know what, guys? Thanks for all your hard work.
You live on the edge, right? You're just shopping during the show, aren't you?
You know what? Who wants to come over to my house next week when it gets here and see both of the Funko Pops right there?
Is there going to be an unveiling party? I feel like it's a gallery, and we're going for the gallery opening.
Come on out. Like, there's going to be finger foods, and we're all going to wear novelty T-shirts, and there's going to be a Mystery Science Theater showing. Or maybe we'll just watch favorite clips. Like, we could all sing Patrick Swayze Christmas or the concept song, or,
I have said in the past, no one else watches Mystery Science Theater. I know that's not true because quite a few of you text, but there's not many. Not too many.
It's fine.
If Nikki sounds a little bored this morning, it's because Obadiah is still talking.
Too much talking.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Talking.
I know that most people aren't like this, but I have a tendency to waste time, especially when it comes to dirt interwebs.
No.
It's so easy to do.
It's not wasting time. It just time gets away from you.
Yeah. And so the one that I feel like is the easiest for me to waste time on, and on some ways I feel like it's not my fault, is Facebook. And so what happens is, like, I'll be going to Facebook for a work-related item. Like, I need to post this, or I need to answer this message, or check that, or whatever. But it is built to distract you and keep you there as long as possible. And it works. I'll end up scrolling or whatever, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't even do the thing I came here for. Oh, my gosh. So I am tired of doing that. So I've been like, okay, what am I going to do in order to stop being so distracted by things and get a little more focused? So I installed something called Stay Focused as a Chrome extension. And what it does is that you can select websites where Chrome will literally only allow you to visit that website for a certain amount of time, and then you're done. Like, you can't go back to it.
Well, now, that's interesting.
It is interesting because two things. One, Facebook is one of the ones I'm going to pick. I may have a couple of others that I add to that list, but I feel like it does two things for me. One, it wastes my time, and two, it derails what I'm in the middle of doing. And something that I don't deal with super well are interruptions. Like, if I'm in the flow and I'm working or whatever and I get interrupted, it's hard for me to get back into what I was doing. And you're like, you should be good at multitasking. Look, I suck, okay? There. What do you think about that?
That's not everybody's forte.
So, whatever. In fact, arguably, they say, especially men, are not well designed for multitasking because I'm like a caveman. Me break rocks with stick. That's all I can do.
Look and click over there.
That's all I got, guys.
Yeah, but for me, it's more phone related, less browser related. So do they do an app version of it? Or I'm sure there's other companies that do.
Right. The one I have picked is this, but I'm sure you could grab one for your phone as well. But just the idea of, like, all right, even for my own mental health, I don't want this level of distraction. Like, I don't want to spend this time looking at this. So I'm just kind of making a choice up front. Like, hey, this is how much time you get. Don't mess with it.
I forget who it was, but I saw an interview with someone who said they delete the app during the day. Like, they have a problem with one.
Okay.
So they have it in the morning, they check it once, delete the app, and then at night, so they're allowed to reinstall it once and then delete it again, and they just do that every day.
Okay.
That's commitment there, but maybe a little bit much.
I get it, though, because I'm very easily distracted.
Or delete it like on Friday for the weekend if you're going to really have trouble then.
Hey, I've said it before. I don't enforce it so hard that it becomes like a thing, but in general, Saturdays for me are social media light to none at all because I feel like there's one day a week that I shouldn't be thinking everyone else's thoughts. Like, Saturdays for my thoughts, and then I'll, think every other thought everyone has ever had on the other days of the week.
You'll join again after that.
Turn it up loud enough and your neighbors will call the cops. Because it's obviously a cry for help. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Have you been looking at all that stuff about China's moon rover?
China's moon rover.
They're on the far side of the moon now, Nikki.
I saw that. Obie's teasing because I do not like space stuff. Space scares me. I don't ever want to go up there.
Oh, yeah, but and
I don't like space stuff. Have I mentioned it? I don't like space stuff. Space movies, space TV shows.
But this is
anything in space.
Different.
No.
It is. I said it is!
Don't yell at me.
But you like being yelled at, too!
No, I don't.
Yelled at about space stuff!
That's the worst combination ever. What's wrong with you? Stop.
I'm so sad right now.
You guys don't even know. This is awful. What did you do at work today? Well, I got yelled at about space. It's a terrible combination.
So China has released their rover. They call it the Jade Rabbit 2. It's on the far side of the moon. It can go 220 yards per hour, and it's carrying out mineral, biological, and radiation tests as it prepares to build like a little lunar base.
Great.
It'll just deploy, and it'll be a little base that they have there. So that's what they're doing. But see, the big deal is they're on the far side of the moon, and we've always been on the close side of the moon. And does anyone... Okay, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I'm just telling you right now. It kind of makes me want to watch Transformers 3, right?
Oh, raise your hands. Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Anyone?
I haven't watched a Transformers movie in forever, and what they want me to do is go see Bumblebee. But
you don't want to.
What I've been thinking is that instead, what if I went home and watched Transformers Bark at the Moon, and then it's like I went to the moon and I saw the Transformers.
That wasn't really called Bark at the Moon, was it?
I think it's called Dark of the Moon.
Okay.
Dark at the Moon. Dark Moon. Something.
That's the one you'll want to watch.
That was back when people still took Transformers movies semi-seriously, and now they're just like, whatever. So...
Well, in honor of that, you could watch it if you wanted.
I'm not going to.
Even though I thought, like on the other side of the moon, everybody could just be lying, just like they were on the front side of the moon.
What do you mean?
Meaning, like, are you actually getting pictures back? Are they really doing that?
Is it just made up?
Is it just made up? Who cares? Who knows?
I mean, honestly, all I see here is some rocks and like a black background.
We can do that.
If you wanted the truth with very little money, we could do that right there in the TV studio.
Sounds like a challenge to us, doesn't it?
It's not worth the effort.
See, and neither is talking about it.
Yes, it is!
Stop yelling.
We're going to talk about it until you like it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome, Nikki. Don't you want to be a Chinese moonlander?
Again, I just don't ever want to go to space.
Okay.
I will never volunteer for that. And if I somehow manage to go up there, you will know and you'll have my record right now. It was not by choice.
Now who's yelling?
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
We're waffling on the payment part of it.
Waffle.
Doesn't that sound good?